everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Part of the Pride Aston Villa Women podcast. We do know it's been quite a while since we've been here. We were plagued by illness and lost voices and all sorts, mainly on my end, so I do apologise, but we're back and we've got so much to talk about. I've got my Brittany headset on, so you know we mean business this evening. So joining me this evening, we've got two wonderful people in the form of Gary and Emma. How are you both? Lovely to see you.
I did hear you. I was pausing to give Emma a chance to speak, but yes,
I
I'm
did the
very well.
same
Thank you.
thing.
How are you?
Since when are we polite? What's going on here? But no, you were both
Emma has
good,
Wi-Fi
which is
connection tonight, so I was trying to give her a chance to speak, but she still hasn't.
And that's true for anyone who has watched the podcast before. Emma might stay for the full thing. She might go away and come back again. This could be the last time we ever see her until next week. So it's always a really fun guessing game as to what's going to happen next. But hey, we love playing the game, so it's all good. And if you are watching right now, remember you can join us in the live chat to share your thoughts on anything that we're talking about, and to get your say across as well, because we are in association with the whole 115 yards and of course the Villa Women fan club as well. So making sure that community is a place where all fans can come together and share their love of the game. And of course, their frustrations as well, which we will get onto. However, I did want to start with some very good news before we get into the Everton game. Our lovely Lynn Films, has been nominated for the PFA WSL Fans Player of the Month for October. It's a very short name for that award. So congratulations to Lynn. And hopefully she does win it, because very, very deserved for just everything that she's done since signing for Villa. And I don't know if you've seen this as well. I think, Emma, you sent me the link for this one. Ex-villain Simone McGill has announced she is pregnant with her husband, Mark. So we do wish the both of them the very best. Even though it'll be a little blue nose instead of a little villain. But
Yeah,
yes, so
see,
congratulations.
you call
to
her
them.
Blue Nose, but Simona is also from my native country, so I'm off for the green and white army.
I was going to say, you've got the first claim, Gary. That's... Oh, bless her. I watched the announcement video Birmingham City put up, and it was very, very cute indeed. So yeah, so wanted to start on a good note, on a very, very positive note. Now, we've got to get into it. It's what we're here for. Matchday 7 reaction to that very bizarre draw against Everton at the weekend, because we, of course, were so close to taking all 3 points. Now, we're going to go into it, we're going to talk about the details, but yeah, I don't even know where to start with this one. But Gary, does it feel like it, and Emma as well, ask you as well, does it feel like points dropped rather than
Yes.
at least we got a point?
It does feel like points drop. To get into the last minute, and the defensive line still being an international duty, so they weren't there to stop Glasgow getting your second goal of the game. Yeah, it was good the way they fought back, because obviously we had originally went behind, surprisingly through more poor defending, which is really, really surprising, because the defence has been so good all season.
That's usually our standout thing, isn't it? About
and just this game, I don't know if it's been the national break or what, but I think a few of them are still on the plane, and
yeah,
it definitely does feel like points drop. But we should have got the win, but that's football, eh?
And that's the frustrating thing, because we always say, don't we, like, oh, Villa have done it again, but Villa have been out of that for quite a while now, so it was quite disappointing indeed to see those old habits kind of sneak in. But yeah, I know Tracy, of course, who people know, everyone knows Tracy. She was saying in the chat, wasn't she, that she'd turned to Julie, another one of our good friends in the fan club, and she said, "Oh, is this the first time we've won at Villa Park?" And Julie went, "Nope, because Everton have just scored." and that's as quick as it was, wasn't it? You thought, right,
Yeah,
we're into the final minute of stoppage time, we're gonna get the points, and then what happens? It all breaks down. So let's get into it, shall we? From the beginning. Quite a few missing after the international break. So we had no Chaz. She picked up a knock, didn't she? I think that was just before she got there, or just
yeah,
as
'cause I
she's
think
got
she
into
had to
international
pull
break.
out.
Yeah, I
She
think
had
she
to pull
picked it
out,
up
didn't
in
she?
her
Yeah.
last match because she didn't play. She just dropped out of the Netherlands squad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she didn't actually get a chance to go on international break in a sense, did she, with the Netherlands? No Lucy Parker. Still no Lucy Stan, of
Oh yeah.
course. No Jill. I know. I was looking through the thing as well. I was
I'm
like,
literally
who are
looking
we
at the
missing?
lineup and I was like, oh yeah.
No Paula
No Parker.
as well
Yeah.
on the bench, and
She's
of
been out for
course
a
those.
while.
Well, she came back and then she went again, didn't she? Um,
Mm-hmm.
so maybe picked up something else. If anyone from Villa is watching, we always keep talking about it, but those injury updates that we used to have every week, if we could bring those back, just please, I will do them. Let me know. Let me know what's happening with the players, and I will make the injury graphics. So yeah, and so we also had, because of course we had a bit of a mix to our starters. On the bench, we had Lydia Salloway, of course, who we're seeing more often. And we also had Scott and Seymour coming up from the academy. Emma, was it a worry for you that we didn't really have that much experience to come off the bench? And in fact, we did use the three players we could through that game.
Yeah, I mean, right. I had a trauma trying to get into the match because my mum's ticket wouldn't scan. So I actually
Oh,
didn't
did
get to
not?
my seat till 5 to 12. So I was
Oh,
fuming because I
no.
didn't get to look at the lineup or anything. But then I saw the lineup and I was like, where are all our players? Like at the
Where's
this
everyone
happens
gone?
every
Yeah.
season. We start the season with a full bench, and then gradually the bench gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and then we have to start inviting toddlers because it's so small. And it's like, how does it get like that? Because we don't get informed of any of these injuries. Um, but do you know what? At the start of the game, I was like, Everton are a bit of a, they're on a bit of a, like, they've only won one. Yes, it was the derby, but they've only won one. Um, so it's like an insane game of luck, really, is what we were going into. Um, so it might have been
Yeah, it
nice
was
to
still
get the
quite up in
given
the air,
minutes.
wasn't it?
Yeah. So it might have been nice as a shock to Everton as well to see what they could do in order to help us. Um, but yeah, it was nice to
Okay.
see Rach, Sarah, and Ebony come on.
Mm.
I'm unsure as to why they weren't starting, but I've then also put in my notes that Hanson and Georgia both deserve the starts, so you can't start
Yes.
everyone, I guess.
You can't.
Because
I
Georgia's
mean,
just been
Tapau
so
tried.
good. Yeah, he
Yeah,
did, and it didn't work.
he rolled his dice quite often, didn't he? And it didn't quite work. Yeah, because we were talking about, is it time to bring the youngsters through, make them more of starters rather than impact players? And like you said, so Rachel Maltby, Georgia Mullett, they've really, really earned that spot, and look what they can do with it. So Gary, for you, looking at their starting 11 and thinking, right, just a bit like Emma said, Everton, they've got some very, very good players we can never kind of rest on. Yeah, it's Everton, it'll be fine. Because every time we play them, it feels like such a different team. You just don't know what's going to happen. But that first half was all Everton, really, wasn't it? Were you
Mm-hmm.
were you concerned with the speed in which Everton came out, Gary?
The first 10 minutes they came out really quick and deservedly got a goal.
Mm.
Um, I wasn't concerned because it was the same back line that has done so well this season.
Mm.
that I had a bit of confidence, that they'll find their feet, they will settle, and we'll get back into the game.
Yeah.
And to be fair, they did settle and we did get back into the game. And at one stage, we
There
were
were
actually
times.
leading and looked like we were going to win, but obviously didn't because of another
Those
defensive
20 minutes.
lapse. You know,
Yeah, those 20 minutes
it's
were quite wonderful, weren't they? Yeah.
yeah, but they're what matters. We're talking about Hansen and Georgia deserving their game time. Hansen's one of the best
Yeah.
players in the squad. She really should
Yeah,
be there. And Georgia's had two starts and just scored two and assisted one. So
Hmm.
you can't really fault her either. Um,
No, no, not at all.
to to be fair, Ebony, although she has had a bit of luck for us, I think Ebony needs to be shooting from outside the box because that's where
yeah,
she's had her
Yeah.
most luck. Once Ebony gets into
Yeah.
the box, she has a 100% success rate at hitting the keeper.
yeah.
Do you think it's but no, it's true. It is, it's true. And it's, you know, the word baffling gets thrown about a lot at the minute and overused, but it is. She's got so much talent, and we've seen what she can do. Striking the ball outside the box, like you said, it almost feels like as soon as she gets in the box, she's like, "Well, I've got to score," and it's almost that
She
panic of,
forgets how
"Oh,
to
well, yeah,
pass when she gets into that box, I think is the problem. Because what I've found a lot with Ebony is the times that she needs to pass and there's people in the box, she tries to shoot.
mm,
And then the times where there's no one in the box, she tries to pass and cross it over. And it's like that's not how it works, because the box is then full of your opposition players, who aren't gonna score for you. Like, she needs to do the
well."
opposite way around.
Well, I
Ruby
don't
Mace did
know.
it quite nicely, actually.
Did they
No,
actually put
no,
that down as Mason's goal? Because I thought they'd actually give it to Salmon, but you can see quite clearly it's a
yeah,
deflection.
Yeah,
it's definitely
yeah,
a deflection. Oh, you just feel so sorry for her though. Like just the I'll clear it. Oh crap! It's gone in the back of the net. But
Mason's
again,
having a
we
great
haven't got
game
it.
too.
She was having such a good game. Yeah, and you just think you're putting all that effort in, and then you get a goal in the wrong net
Yeah,
after all of that. But again, it's how the game goes, annoyingly, isn't it? So we've talked about Ebony for quite a while then, and it's so all over the place. What do you think can happen in training for that to change? Like, is it more of an instinct thing that she needs to really get into a new habit of doing, or do you think that maybe Villa's not the right environment anymore if it's just not clicking? Emma, what do you think?
I'm sorry, Gary. I'm gonna jump on this.
by all
Um,
means.
Purely, I thought at the start of the season she was doing really well. She had started to
Mm,
pass. She had started to look slightly less selfish, we say.
mm,
But we've kind of gone back to the old Ebony now, which is a little bit annoying. I don't know whether it's because she started to start games, started to get more minutes. But surely, if that's the case, then you keep doing what you were doing before, and not go back to the
mm,
old, like whatever you were doing before. Um, so I'm not sure. I've always said
mm.
from the start when she joined us that she'd have probably benefited from a season or half a season on loan somewhere, because at that point she wasn't getting the
Okay.
minutes. That might have helped her then develop, but I think I don't think that's right now. So I'm not. I don't know. I think it might just be a new habit that she needs to work
To break.
on.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Um,
Yeah.
Gary, how about you? Any opinion on what might need to change? Or is it the setup?
I
Is it the way we play? Or
I just think she needs help with her decision making.
mm,
As Emma said, I agree completely. She started the season quite well, where she knew when to pass, she knew when to shoot. She was having a successful period at that stage. But it is as if
mm,
she's taken a step back and she's back in the tunnel vision. You know,
Yeah.
Ebony's kind of always been, she would be the horse that give it back in the Grand National because she would have her blinkers on and just sprints. And she's bloody quick.
Yeah.
But she forgets sometimes that there's another 10 players around her. Use them accordingly and definitely needs a wee bit of help with the decision making because there's some of the shots
Yeah.
just taken. She always has a habit of just trying to stick her foot through it. Whereas you'll look at other strikers and they'll be watching the keeper and they kind of know when to chip, they know when to dummy. You look at the successful strikers and it's not always,
Yeah.
I'm just going to stick my foot through this. That,
Yeah. You're looking where
that's
the
all it
space is.
is.
You're constantly looking up. Yeah.
She's literally hitting it straight at the keeper, but it's because she's just making poor decisions, and it's clear she has the talent.
Yeah.
She just maybe needs to have the patience.
Yeah. And that's just the frustrating thing as fans, isn't it? Because we can't help that in a sense. We can just kind of comment on it and hope that things do change and someone kind of takes her under a wing and be like, right, okay, this is what we need to do in these situations. Because you're right, she has so much talent and we want the best for her, and that's the frustrating thing because we know what she can do. So yeah, as well in the chat, what do you think? About Ebony, or are we being too harsh? Of course,
But
do call us out.
to be
Yeah, go on, Gary.
fair, Sean Goder was once upon a time Man City's sort of record goal scorer. So he does know what it takes to put the ball in the net.
He's done it
But
before.
there's
Yeah.
only but it's like any good coach, there's only so much that they can do. You still have to do the work.
Yes. Yeah, put in that work. Not just listen to it, but actually do it. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing that maybe some forwards do get in their head, like, oh, I'm a forward, I need to score. And it's like, well, actually, if you're doing your bit and you're assisting and you're getting forward and you're doing all the right things, that's just as important than putting the ball in the back of the net because you're in those spaces. However, we do need to talk about our incredible youngster golden girl, Georgia Mullet. So we go into the game then, and Everton are all over us, and we think, oh god, what's going to happen now? And it's Kelly Gargle, of course, who opens the scoring, doesn't she? 11th minute, and you think, right, we can't let Everton get away now. We need to keep going. So a very slow start from Villa. Then we get into the end of that first half, and they're picking up pace, aren't they? They're starting to arrive. They're starting to show up. They've got off the plane now. They're through security, and they're finally back on the pitch. And it comes into it, and one of the best bits of commentary I think I heard this weekend. One of two. I'll tell you about the other one in a bit. And it was Georgia Mullet thighs it in. I was like, that's very specific. But she did, didn't she? She turned it in using her thigh, not anything else. Because a lovely ball comes in. I think is it Maltby over to Moritz, who then gets it back into the box. And Mullet, of course, right place, right time, as you want a forward to be. But that was in the 8th minute of first half stoppage time. So yeah, for Emma, for you in the stadium, of course, I know you were both there, but that feeling of we've gone into half time equal. What was that feeling like, Emma? Did you have hope that we could actually do this?
Yes. I mean, I'd have still probably had hope that that we could have done it even if we'd have gone in 1-0 down. Because 1-0 is 1-0, like it's very easily brought back. But knowing we were going in equal made it even more like we've got to get this now. We cannot lose it. And I think at that point, because you've gone in already earning a point at half time, that's where you want to at least keep it. To then lose that point, you've then lost the point, which the English isn't English in today. But like to lose that point, you definitely feel defeated. So you want to keep it at that level anyway. So going into half time, I was like, okay, at least we've got a point. That's where we need to keep it. But then,
if nothing else, keep it.
yeah,
Okay.
but then looking at the bench, I was like, we've got Rach and Ebony that can come on, who are both goal scoring threats. Especially if Ebony's got the speed and then passes it to Daly, who happens to be in the box. That's ideal. But we could then definitely bring it back with those two really talented players. So yeah, and then Kirsty as well being on the pitch. I was just like, yeah, we can do it. And then we did.
It's still hopeful. It's always quite nice, isn't it, to be hopeful as a Villa fan, because we've had many matches where that was not there, but we stayed anyway. So the second half gets underway then, and it's within minutes essentially, isn't it? So in the 59th minute, we've got this beautiful strike. Again, by Georgia Mullet, linking it with Kirsty Hansen. So actually, Arroyo starting those two up top worked incredibly well. So this ball then, so it was Lynn Vilms, again, another reason why she's nominated for Player of the Month, sent a long ball over the top, found Mullet in loads and loads of space, and crosses it in. Again, it was pinpoint accuracy, wasn't it? It was just beautiful watching it back. And Kirsty Hansen gets the right side of... I've got it in my notes, hang on. Ishikawa. Gets on the right side of it and just slides it in, doesn't she? She gets all the power behind it. In for 2-1, in for the lead. Gary, it was beautiful, wasn't it?
It was a joy to watch, and it was just the sheer determination in Hansen. It's like, I am getting this. I don't even think she was on her feet whenever it went that, whenever she actually hit it. Like she was already on her way down. She just kind of slid and continued to slide. But
by hook or by crook, I'm getting that ball in, yes.
Yeah, but then that's typical Hansen. She always has that sort of sheer determination. She wants to be involved. She wants to get the goal. She is always hungry, and it's why so many fans love her. To be fair,
yeah.
And I think even the speed of Georgia sort of getting down as well. They are quite a quick partnership. And obviously, so Ebony's quick too, but I do think the decision making was a bit better between Kirsty and Georgia. I'd actually bless Georgia's granny, but she's actually part of the fan club, and she was messaging me after the game.
Aww.
Yeah, it's like she's just so proud of her granddaughter, and I thought, you know what, give fair grounds, because the way she's played the last two games and getting those two goals and that assist, it's just nice to see everybody taking that bit of pride in her, and that she's finally got her opportunity, because the last 2-3 years she's generally been shipped out on loan.
Mm-hmm.
And we were worried, weren't we, at one point, that she'd go on loan and she'd be sold to a WSL2 team and would never see her again. So when it was announced she was coming back, it was like, thank God, we need to use her. And how proud we are that she's back in scoring and doing what she does best. So that was 59th minute. Kirsty then gets subbed off for Ebony about 5 minutes later. Would you have still made that change, Gary, or would you have left Hansen on a bit longer? Because it just felt like
I was going to make the change. It wouldn't have been Ebony.
No.
I'd have probably brought on Rachel at that stage. I think Hansen had a knock a couple of weeks ago, so they're maybe still trying to manage her minutes a bit.
Trying to manage it. Maybe. Yeah, good point.
I don't know how much she played for Scotland, but being conscious of her injury a couple of weeks ago, how important she is to the squad, being away on international duty, I can kind of understand managing her minutes. But Rach would have been my first choice over Ebony. And it's not very often we get the opportunity to see Rach as one of the front two. Because she's literally played number 10 for the last season and a bit.
Because that's the thing, because then Miri comes off at 74 minutes and Rach then replaces Miri. So yeah, I would have liked to see her more forward rather than in that midfield area. But she was doing a lot of defending as well, wasn't she? She was getting in and amongst it at the back. So do you think Rach now's playing more of a freer role like depending on how the game's going, it's just like, right, Rich, if you're up front, fine. If you're at the back, also fine. Just get yourself where you needed, maybe. Or do we think
Yeah,
she's still
that's how
seen
it's come
primarily as a
across.
midfielder?
I think the thing is, we all complained that Rach was never up front
Yeah.
because the defence in previous seasons maybe hasn't always been the tightest. So Rach has been
Mm.
right back there. So I think the way she plays, it's give her the opportunity to play the way she plays, being in that role behind
Yes.
the front too. But then whenever you need
Mm.
somebody behind the front too, sometimes she's not there. So, she's just as important
And
in
that's the
that
thing.
role as she would have been right up front.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a team game, and Rach is one of the players that will literally cover every blade of glass for the
Yeah.
team. But when you get those opportunities to get up front, you want somebody to be there.
Yes. Yeah. And again, another frustration, like you said, that we've said repeatedly. So yeah, so Rach comes on at about 74 minutes, the exact same minute that Ruby Mace and her own goal goes in. Now, I should say before we get to this point, Kitagawa did equalise, so it was 2-2 in the 70th minute, and then a couple of minutes later, Ruby Mace gifted us a goal for 3-2. So for the last 15 minutes we were very, very happy with ourselves that had been gifted, because if people have watched it back, she tried to clear it, didn't she, and it just curled beautifully, I might add, into her own net. And you just saw Rambo, Everton's goalkeeper, just like, oh, just saw her hands, just like, oh, how was that gone in? That shouldn't have been anywhere near it. But like we said, it happens. Unfortunately, it was for us instead of against us, as it probably would have been in the past. Um, so yeah, so we get into the last 15 or so minutes, and we're still looking good, aren't we? Up until that point, we look like we're going to keep it. And as we said about Tracy's anecdote earlier, oh, is this our first win? Oh, this is quite nice. But no, no, it was not to be. And we've made jokes at the beginning of the show about the defence, but I must have watched this back about 15 times, and I'm still not quite sure where everyone went. Because
Yeah.
it went
We
from,
just stopped.
it just stopped. It's as if someone, and this is going to be a reference, do you remember Bernard's watch or the Queen's nose? And you could just pause time whenever you want it. So someone had the power, the magic to do it. It so looked like someone had done that, because it was like they were all in sync, that they just stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. There was nothing there. So the ball came into the box, didn't it? Everton, of course, did play really well. We do want to say that as well. Playing really well. They were pushing for that equaliser again, and you thought, it could be coming. That was very much an option. And the ball comes into the box, and it was Sarah, wasn't it? It was Sarah and Lynn, and they'd both gone up with Kelly Gargo, and I can't remember who the other player was. Might have been Fernandez, might have been Wheeler. And they've all gone up for the ball in the air. And I don't know if anyone else saw it like this as well, but it felt like Lynn and Sarah both continued travelling outside of the box. And then it left this huge gap. And Patsy didn't seem to move. Like, she moved a little bit, but it wasn't quite enough. And then the ball just dropped for Kelly Gargo, and she went, I'll have that, thank you very much. And just flew straight past Sabs. And again, the frustration on Sabs's face, because she was like, where did everyone go? What happened? You're right in front of me. But yeah, could anyone else make sense of what
I
happened?
watched it back earlier. I watched the highlights earlier, and to me, it looked like it came from a corner. We cleared the corner, but then forgot that we could counter attack and at least just try and get the ball away. So half of the team ran out to counter attack, ran out of the box, stopped. Again, time must have paused because they just stopped out of the box. and then the ball was recycled, put back in, and they were still stopped. And it was like, no, you could have just ran with that ball. There was one Everton player, I don't know who it was, but there was one Everton player out, and there was like 3 or 4 of ours. So they could have easily ran for that ball, passed it between them, and then got it away. But they just stopped.
It's almost as if they were.
Like, we can take the ball away. We can counter-attack. It's not illegal.
Yeah, you can clear it. It's okay. Yeah, it felt like because everyone was in the box back defending, that when they did try and clear it, it didn't go very far because their, last player in a sense was still just outside the box. And it felt like that's when the decision making kind of fell apart. So, so Gary, do you think it was simply that there was a tiny bit of complacency there, like, oh, it's last minute stoppage time, we're gonna win it, and then it just happened, just switched off.
Definitely a little bit of complacency, but then also it was just a really bad deflection because whenever they did try to clear it, it kind of came off another player and just seemed to bounce perfectly right in front of Gago. And like you were talking about it being where you could freeze time.
Yeah.
It was almost like whenever you watch back and things, and then whenever you would see the things where somebody would slide the goalkeeper out of the way so that they had an open net. It almost looked a little bit like that because whenever you watch where the strike is, if Sabs had stayed where she was, it would have went straight into your chest.
Yeah.
But she just sort of took this sidestep as if somebody just moved her out of the way so that they got the equaliser. It's like all the stars just aligned in that last minute where
in that last
we
moment.
fell asleep and Everton got themselves a point.
They did. And we always talk about it, don't we? But you need to take your chances because in games like this where, you might have some good bits of possession, but you're not guaranteed it. So you never know if you're going to have the ball or not. So when the chances are that rare, with teams like this, you need to take every opportunity and not give the other team any chance to do that. But hey, well deserved for Everton. A good point there. They did not stop fighting, and unfortunately, we did switch off. So it was very, very well deserved, I think, that point. But hey, if we look on the positives, it is still a point. I think if that was then a loss, and that was how we lost it, I think I'd still be foaming at the mouth. But because we
this
still got
time
something.
last season, we were floating down towards the relegation. So
Oh.
but we're not there. We have progressed.
We have, yes.
I know that there's a lot of people are going on. They should be doing this. They should be doing that. It's like Rome wasn't built in a day. They're all making progress. But we were never going to go out and win the league. But as it currently looks, we're also not going to be in any relegation playoffs.
Yes, yeah, and if anyone ever needs a reminder about just how far we've come, you're absolutely right. Look at where we were last season when everyone had said, oh, you're going to be in a relegation battle. And we were to a certain extent, but then we actually, look how we ended. Look how we ended the season. So just as a recap then, so we are currently in 8th place. Remember, we do still have a game in hand, which we will talk about fixtures. We will talk about our fixtures scheduling later on. But yeah, we are in 8th place with 7 points, with a 0 goal difference. We've scored 7 and we've let in 7.
That's nice.
Well, one thing that was really, really difficult to watch, Mazet and Everton kept having a fantastic game.
I know, she looked so happy, didn't she?
Yes.
Which of course we do want from Maz, of course we do. And she's getting the minutes, she's getting played, which is exactly why she left. But yeah, it just hurts a little bit, doesn't it? I will say though that yellow Everton kit is very, very nice. The details on it are very,
I don't like
nice.
the collar, but other than that, it's nice.
Collar or
That's
colour?
kind of the main thing.
Collar. I don't like collars though. Like, I fell in
Oh,
love with
sorry,
it
the
a few seasons
collar.
ago.
I thought you said
Yeah.
color.
No,
Tell you what I love
colour.
about.
I don't like colours.
Tell you what I love about this Villa podcast. We've got 3 different accents on this Villa podcast, and
I'm
it's the
not under
Brummy you can't
Brahma.
understand.
I'm
Oh, that's
being
fantastic.
messy. I'm calling you more black country there than Brum, you know. Well, we all know you're a butt
Oh.
patcher, but
I always so when I first went to uni, my friend was from Kingstanding and had a very thick Brummie accent, and I always remember once she said something, she said curled, but it sounded like cold, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" So we then had all of these different words that in an accent sounded exactly the same. So we've got collar and colour, and now the same for Emma. Um, cold and curled is another one as well. So yeah, so guess the Brummie.
I, I've said
In this one.
nothing because I know that there's many words in my own accent that also sound the same.
But that's a fun thing about an accent though, because obviously with mine as well, believe it or not, this is very toned down to how I used to sound before I moved away from home. Um, so um, so yeah, it's always fun and games, isn't it, with accents.
Well,
Now, Emma, are you still
mine's not
there?
toned down, but it is slowed down. I do talk a lot slower over here. Or you just really wouldn't
Yes.
understand what I say.
No, but you do, don't you? You've got to slow right down, and you've got to really enunciate, or at least try and enunciate, um, with with what we say. Oh, Emma, you're back. Hello. See, we told you. Is it going to be a case of is Emma here? Is she not? It's a fun game to play. I assume that's Lindsay, who's L in the chat. When we had a convo about pants, I got very confused. You meant trousers, not underpants. Yeah, your pants, your trousers. Never mind. So we could be here all night, and that is a completely different podcast. But we might do it at one point. We might indeed. Now then, where did we get to? We're talking about the kit. Yes, Everton's kit is very, very nice. And Maz, if she ever does want to come back, the door is wide open because we do miss her. But yeah, player of the match. Who would both of you have picked for your player of the match? Who impressed?
Obviously, I went to Georgia, which was absolutely, yeah, she deserved it. Um,
Yes.
Probably could have said Gago as well, but obviously that's looking
Yeah.
at the bigger picture.
Yes.
But for us in the
That's okay. You can.
midfield, I think all 3 of them actually were playing quite well. You know,
Mm.
Mary was fighting for everything. Missy Bow and Kendall both had opportunities to score as well. You know, they were
Yeah.
kind of in the thick of things, and they've been quite consistent, and it's one of the reasons why Kendall's got a recent call up the England squad. And Missy
Yeah.
Bow's also been stepped up from the under 23s to the England squad. You know, they're getting that opportunity because they're consistently playing well.
Yeah, proving their place. Absolutely. I mean, Kendall. I mean, we talked about it before the international break, but the way that she's come on leaps and bounds. Because sometimes when you do move up a division, it can take a while to kind of settle in and play at that high level, can't it? But yeah, she's hit the ground running and deserving of every minute that she plays in a Villa shirt. Um, so yeah, it's so nice to have a team that we've always been proud of being Villa fans, of course we have, but when we can see the team working together and the skill and their quality, it's lovely, isn't it? It's a really, really, really lovely feeling to watch. Right then. So, anything else anyone want to mention about the Everton game before we move on?
It appears we have lost Emma, and
Just the two of us. Da, 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 That's okay, Gary. We can talk to each other. That's okay.
Well, we
Why
certainly
do
can. We can always talk amongst ourselves. But
we can until she comes back. Yeah.
the actual game, I think we probably said everything to be covered. It was an
Yeah.
off day for the defence, but the team fought hard and got back into it, and just that last minute was the deciding factor in the end, I suppose. But yeah,
Yeah.
I say
Yeah.
we've
But
covered
until
all bases.
Yeah, and again, like we said, until that point, there were some really, really positive moments from that match. Just a shame that we couldn't hold on until the very end. So just a recap of the table then. So Chelsea is still top, of course they are, with 19 points. City have 18, United have 17, Spurs are in fourth with 15 points. They've been quietly doing some very good things, Spurs, annoyingly. Arsenal in fifth with 14 points. Then you've got London City on 9, Brighton on 7, us on 7, Everton 5, Leicester 5, and then Liverpool and West Ham still without a single point. So yeah, worried, still worried about those two. Because it's not an easy league, not at all. Right then, so looking ahead to the weekend, it feels like we've just played Man United, but they're back again. Or should I say we're back again because we're going on the road, aren't we? Got an away match. And it's at LSV with the newly named Progress with Unity Stadium, of course, to give it its full title. Now, Gary, we can't deny United are on a very good run of form at the moment. They've won 5, drawn 2. They're still unbeaten in the league, United. They've scored 19 goals and only let in 5. So it's going to be a tough test, isn't it? More so than when we visited them previously.
It's definitely going to be a tough test. United are always a tough game,
Mm,
but this season again, they're just clicking.
mm,
They didn't add
really are.
much to their squad, but what they added has been quality.
Mm.
Um,
I mean,
you
Fridolin
know,
Rolfo from Barca, like what a signing there, yeah.
but like even last season, I'm not surprised they've only conceded 5 goals
Mm,
because Josh is amazing. As a goalkeeper, she
yes,
she is outstanding.
yeah,
Not much gets past her, and the way United are playing right now, much the same as yourselves, where they have been that bit of a team and they have been solid. They don't have the same depth that they had, but
mm,
they have a solid core, and that starting team um,
yeah,
that has been proven is difficult to beat.
yes. Yeah, because they're, you look at the team, and obviously there's loads of things we talk about on the outside, but the team themselves, they're a squad that have so much togetherness and so much unity, haven't they? They are very, very tough to beat. So I mean, do we think we can still look to get something from this? I know obviously we'd love to. But do you think it's possible to get a point on the road? Because it was a
I
frustrating
think
one
it's
last time, wasn't it?
possible. It was a
Mm,
frustrating the last time, but it's possible. The way our defense has been previous games,
yeah,
if we can keep things as tight, we can at least make it
yeah.
difficult for Man United to score.
I hope so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there. I do think there will be goals in the game
Mm,
because there's going to be that much talent on the pitch. Something has to happen sooner or later. But
yeah.
I would like to see it being tight. One each, two each. I don't want to see it
Yeah.
that it's 4-0 to United or anything like that.
No.
I think if our defense plays the way it can play,
Mm.
we could at least come away with a point.
I really, really hope so. Because when we're, you know, really, really up against it, we can fight, can't we? And we can really, really, really go for it. And I think we've got, again, we talk about the quality we've got now in those relationships. And I think we do have probably the best team we've had to face United. So it's good a time as any on match day 8 to to go away to a lovely rainy Manchester in November. Now, do you want to make a prediction for the weekend?
I don't know. Look, if I'm right, Chelsea's the only game that we've actually lost. And that was only by one
I
goal.
can tell you. Yep, we've only lost one. Yeah, so we've won one, drawn 4, lost 1. Yeah.
So that was only by one goal. And
Mm.
we can keep it tight. That was us keeping it tight against the best in the league. As good as United have played, Chelsea are the best in the league.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think I'm going to go for a one each draw.
Ones each. Yeah, I can see it being a really gritty 1-1 as well. And
Yeah,
probably we'll get it under really suspicious circumstances that United will be fuming with. And which
we
will make
wouldn't
it even
expect
better.
anything less.
I know. Oh, I hope so. I really hope so. Yeah, because I don't know if you saw Skinner's comments at the weekend for the game against Brighton, but that ended up 3-2. And he'd said at the end, I've got to quote it properly now. I had it on for my podcast yesterday. Hang on. He said, it's just quite funny. We allowed them to come back into the game. I don't think they earned it. I think we gave it to them. So you can guarantee if we score anything, the post-match comments are going to probably be a little bit like that.
I don't mind if they are. If they want to give us a goal or two, by all means, we'll take
Oh
it.
yeah, absolutely. Come on over the line. Yes, come on in. Absolutely. But yeah, I just really hope we give everything. Not that we wouldn't, but I just really hope we go out there and make it an exciting match. There's been so many matches this season, and I don't know. I've seen a couple of people say this online as well, but there's so much of a disconnect with all the games kicking off at once. You've almost got to choose who you follow, and
Yeah.
it's really hard to pick up anything else that's going on. So, and there's been some really boring games. It just feels like there's been a bit of life sucked out of football this season. So, yeah, as long as it's a good match, an interesting one, then I'm all here for it.
Was it Soccer Donna that shared a couple of weeks ago that, like, last season people watched on average like 3 point something games?
Mm.
And now it's down to like 2.6 or something like that because
Yeah, it's gone way
obviously
down.
the game times used to be staggering. You might have had a 1 o'clock kickoff, but then you could sit and watch that, and then you might have had like a 4 o'clock kickoff, so you could sit and watch that,
Yeah,
and
you go from one
everybody
to the
kick it
other.
off at the
Yeah,
same time. Right now, it's just not working.
it's really
It,
hard,
it's
and
definitely affected numbers. But
yeah,
then the team are
and
probably making more money off TV rights. So what do the clubs want?
yeah, it's hard, isn't it? No, it's hard, especially as well because a lot of them are on Sky Sports now. So if you don't have Sky Sports, then you can't watch them. And they only do multi-view every now and again. I know they did it the past weekend, but they didn't do it the weekend before. So again, you had to choose what you wanted to watch. So, yeah, just make it easier for us. That's all we want. Because I used to love my Sunday. Like you had one at 12 o'clock, then you had a 2, then you had a, like you said, then you had a 4, and then you might have an evening one at about 6:30. Lovely, great. Sunday sorted. So there we go. Emma, you're back. Hello.
Hello.
What are your? We were just talking about United and how they're in really good form, but we're probably the best we've been to face them. How are you feeling ahead of United this weekend?
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm excited because again they are a bigger team, so we'll probably come out and start playing. So maybe, I don't know. When we played them away last season, it was a 0-0. But I feel like it was an exciting one. I can't remember. I've been to sleep since then. But
Just once or twice you've been asleep.
Used to
Yeah,
be good ones.
it was the really frustrating 0-0. I'm sure there was like a penalty shout that got denied or something. I'm sure it was United were really angry with us for some reason. I can't quite remember what it was now. It's usually over something. We usually know them. So yeah, as long as it's an exciting match, then it's all good. Um, and if
It
everyone would like
wouldn't
to
be
donate
United if they
10p,
weren't angry about something.
they've got to be angry about something, haven't they? But yeah, if we could all whip around and put 10p in a pot for Emma's Wi-Fi, that'd be a very good one indeed.
Ne- ne-
Um,
Need to buy her a TP link, and I could just plug one into your bedroom, so she has her own personal Wi-Fi in the room.
yes, purely for the podcast. That's it. That's all she needs to do. Right then. So yes, so United away this weekend, and then we have got some really fun news bits that we want to talk about. Because Gary, this week, you and other members of the fan club and other Villa fans in general went to the first ever Villa Women Fan Forum with the lovely Maggie Murphy, who's now head of. Oh, what's her official title again? Have I forgot that?
She's the managing
Isn't it
director, I
head of
believe.
women's football?
Managing director. Oh, I can hear an Emma, but I can't see an Emma.
Oh, I could see an Emma.
Oh, I can't see.
Oh,
Oh,
oh.
okay. No, it's just a blank screen for me, Emma. Okay.
Oh,
Well,
nice.
hey, welcome. You're gonna have to let us know if you're still here. Yeah, I can't see it. Oh, that's really weird. You just like a. This is not. Yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah. So managing director, of course she is. Yes. And she seems like as soon as she's come in, because of course came from Lewis, very successful there. And she seemed from the off like she really wants to turn this club around and make it successful and make match days more of an occasion and to make people want to come to Villa Park. So, Gary, as you were there, could you tell us a bit about it, please? What the purpose was and what the outcomes were? Because of course Villa have now shared a little bit about what happened, haven't they?
Well, obviously, when we first came in, they had us all round their own tables. Most of us kind of sat in our own groups.
Yeah.
But on the evening, they had various questions. And literally, they had just got a big A3 uh, chart and put pages on everybody's table. So as they asked the questions, they went round, got everybody to sort of give their opinion on the first one. But they had taped sweets to the undersides of some of the chairs. So anybody who had sweets on the underside of their chair then had to stand up and swap tables with somebody else who also had
Okay.
sweets underneath their chair. So they were even
Brilliant.
trying to get us to sort of speak to other people and try and even grow the community that way because you're maybe speaking to
Yeah.
somebody that you hadn't spoke to before. So like the whole night was all about
Yeah.
trying to bring people together.
Oh, I
But at
like
the
that.
same time, there was a little bit at the start where Maggie was being interviewed by another lady on the panel. That was just a couple of questions to try and learn a bit about Maggie. And to be quite honest, she's a very, very passionate, inspirational, ambitious woman. She's the
Yes.
sort of person that you want to be at the forefront of trying to pull something forward because she has the drive to do it. So definitely, you've seen her email from earlier on, and she speaks about her own passion and so on. And, she loved how much everybody loved the club.
Yeah.
And I did feel quite excited myself, even walking away. All of us were talking about, just how good it felt on the night, and you know, all those pages. So there was things that weren't spoke about on the night, but
Okay.
they kept all the pages so that they could see everybody's ideas. So that's what they've taken
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
Um, just to see how the fans feel, about like they've said in it that they want the DJs at the pitch. People have got that because they've been the What's a Lionesses. So apparently at England games, there's always an actual DJ on the pitch,
And at the
um,
Emirates as well, they have a DJ.
and it's just little things, and of course, just mention, people are asking where's the mascot because Villa have always had their mascot, but
Yeah, that's a good question.
suddenly we don't appear to have one. So it's things like that where people want things that could get them more involved, but then
Yeah.
they spoke about the watch parties, and obviously they said so. Not everybody can make the away days. You know, a kick off at 12 o'clock down against Brighton. You're travelling into Crawley. I went to that game
Yeah.
for us, and we were on the coach at something like 6:30 in the morning to get down there on time for
It's a
everything.
long day. Yeah.
Whereas if they don't watch parties, then you know, try and give everybody the opportunity to get together and actually watch the game as
Yeah.
fans. So they've taken a lot of this on board.
Fantastic.
Um, And they even had a whiteboard of everybody whenever we were walking in, and they're asking everybody, what does Aston Villa mean to you? So a lot of that
Yeah,
was
I like
based
that.
around family and friendship, and the things that do bring us all together. Because obviously the women's game is a family-oriented game. How many people bring
Yeah.
their kids along, and
Yeah, yeah.
that's largely what it's all about. But again, before we left, they had another three whiteboards at the side of the room, and they got people to write things on that as well. And it was even asking our opinion on things like who would they like to see the club maybe collab with, or
Okay.
look at for possible sponsors, because obviously we don't have a sponsor in the front of the shirt right now. So
Yeah.
they're asking, who would you like to see us approach? What
Interesting.
sort of things would you like to see? Because everybody's been quite vocal that they don't like the betting company on the front of the shirt.
Yeah.
The women also don't appear to like the betting company on the front of the shirt, and that's why we currently
Good.
don't have anything. Well,
Mm.
we do have the summit at the minute, but how long is
Yeah.
that going to stay? Is that here for the whole season, or is
That's
it
the thing.
just until the summit? So
Mm.
they're trying to take a lot of things on board, give everybody their opinion, and they're encouraging people to come along to the next one on the 16th of December.
Yes, I was going
And
to say because there's another one, isn't there, upcoming. So would you recommend it for people to go and attend
yes,
if they can? Yeah.
you know, absolutely. If I can be there, I'll be there. And
Yeah.
anybody else, if they can make it, definitely come along. You will be listened to, and Maggie is lovely. She genuinely had time for everybody. You know, she was greeting people on their way into the room, and even at the end, where she was giving us a chance to sort of mingle with each other and go and write in those other whiteboards and stuff like that. There were still
Mm.
people approaching her with their own questions, and she had time for everybody.
Good.
She was stood there all smiles, giving everybody the proper time of day, and you
Yeah.
know, I I think she's a good person. She's a passionate person, and certainly somebody that I would I would be quite happy to listen to and work with, because she's definitely wanting to take us in the right direction.
And that's exactly what you want in a managing director, isn't it? Someone who's actually going to listen. They're not just going to implement anything that they think's going to work, but they've actually listened to the people who make the club at the end of the day. So yeah, so I mean, she sounds fantastic, and if I didn't live so far away, then I'd totally be there as well. To just have those conversations and know that those conversations are taking place and are being listened to is so much more than we've ever had before, isn't it? So yes, so for people watching and listening, do get yourself along to the next one, the next fan forum in December, and then hopefully we'll continue having those conversations and we'll get some really positive things from that as well. Perfect. Right then, we've got two more things that we want to quickly discuss. Now, we don't want to linger too much on all of the Mary Earps controversy that's come out, well, the past couple of weeks, hasn't it? We've had, little snippets from the book, and we've had little shorts of interviews and things like that. But we just wanted to mention, because our Rich, of course, has a podcast with Millie Bright, and I think a lot of people have been looking towards, ex-lionesses, retired lionesses, to kind of almost give a bit of scope and a bit of reality to this, because obviously for us, we just get told things, don't we? We weren't there, we're not present for any of it. So we're really relying on those people that we trust to kind of let us know, oh, well, actually, it's a bit like this, or this really happened. And there was quite a bit of silence for quite a long time. And Ellen White came out and said, well, really disappointed because nothing should escape that bubble of being a lioness and being a footballer. Farrah Williams also said she was upset. But the thing we just wanted to discuss, if there was an opportunity for this to have gone a slightly different way, was that Rich and Millie on their podcast essentially said, our podcast isn't for gossip, and that they wouldn't be discussing it. And they wouldn't want to, because their podcast is for, positivity, and that's what they want to raise. So Emma, I'll come to you first. Was that the kind of response you were expecting, or would you have liked to see something a little bit more, because they are two very prominent icons in the women's game still, aren't they? What's your opinion?
I'm completely for them not wanting to discuss it. Like, that's completely okay. I think especially because they're still playing. Like, they may not be playing internationally, but they're still playing, so they're still very
Still
much
active players, yeah.
Like, they're seeing the fans on a weekly basis type thing. So if they had have come out and said something that a fan didn't agree with, that could get quite spicy. It could get quite negative. Like,
Okay.
you never know what a fan's going to shout at a player at a match. Like, I think that's one of the main reasons that it's completely okay for them not to have kind of said anything. It's, the only thing is that maybe they could have approached it differently. Because of, I think saying the word gossip makes it, first of all, it makes it sound a bit like secondary schooly, like, there's some like tea to be spilt kind of thing, whereas it's not as such tea. It's like, yes, it's said in a book, yes, it's got very blown out of proportion, yes, it's been very opinionated, but to be fair, they could have just said, we're not going to speak about it, our podcast isn't for that, this is not the time, this is not the place, and that would have been very much respected by a lot of the people that watch that podcast, I think. It's just, I think wording it as gossip makes it sound like it's not as serious as well, maybe. Whereas some of the things that have been said, have been posted, are quite serious, are quite downgrading, degrading to certain players that it has been aimed at. If that makes some kind of sense.
Some kind of sense, yes. Yeah, so it was more about the way they said it, because of course we were saying, Gary, weren't we? We completely respect their decision to not talk about it, but maybe it could have been an opportunity to have that moment of positivity and respect, and just as a reminder for everyone, really, and kind of put that out into the universe instead. Yeah, did you have?
I think the word gossip potentially throws a little bit of fuel on the fire, because it makes it sound like there might be something there, but they don't want to speak about it. But clearly, these are also two people that they consider as friends,
Well, that's the thing, yeah.
They were all in the England setup together. Rachel and Millie are best friends. You could see whenever we play Chelsea, how close Millie and Rach are, but also with Hannah being a former villain, there's friendships there. So I can understand people
Chelsea,
not wanting to get involved. It's kind of, sometimes the best that you can do is kind of take that step back, but it is their poor wording. by calling it gossip and so on. Because to me, that's almost saying, you know, there might be something there, but we don't want to
Well, we're
pass
not going to
comment
judge it.
on it
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
if you speak about it and you've been involved in that setup, especially very recently, because Millie would have been in the actual squad where Hannah and Mary have been competing against each other. Rate's not
Yeah.
so much because obviously she had stepped away,
Yeah.
but you know they are people that consider themselves friends, and it's really poor wording.
It is, and it's disappointing in a sense because we know how much of two great role models that Rach and Millie are. So yeah, so maybe it would have been better to say, look, we're not, it's not our place to say anything, but can we just remind each other that respect not only obviously your friends, family, etc., but your colleagues. You don't have to like everyone. That's fine, but you still treat someone with respect, especially when it's your international teammates who they went to tournaments together and they won lots and had so much success together. So it's unfortunately the whole story has tarnished quite a few reputations and getting people involved that don't want to be. It's just the word of one person. So yeah, it was just an unfortunate choice of wording. That we just wanted to kind of discuss a little bit, but yeah, of course, people are entitled to their own opinions, and the book is out now. Not being paid for that promotion, but you can have your own opinion, and I think a lot of it's in the Guardian as well. Some
Yeah.
very scathing reviews, and lots of people again being very divisive. So it is very understandable why people wouldn't want to be associated with that, because it is getting very ugly and very messy indeed. Right then, final thing we're going to talk about, and if Lindsay's still in the chat, this was something that she wanted us to make sure we mention, because at the end of the month there is a throwback tops event happening in Birmingham. Now people may have seen it all over social media. It's the only dedicated women's football social event, and there's going to be food, there's going to be entertainment, I think, so much merch. And the Villa fan club have got a table at the event. It's going to be at Hockley Social Club on Sunday, the 30th of November, from 10 till 5. And very excitingly, if we can sort it out, we're going to try and do a podcast from the event, which is going to be really, really cool. So yeah, so if you are interested, tickets are available, and we'll be there with fan club merch as well. And yeah, and hopefully we can get the podcast to work as well. But Gary, are you able to go at that one? Emma, can you go? I don't know if I've asked you both before.
I, I've actually bought a ticket, but the day
Hey.
before I'm in Bristol, so I'll be in Bristol the morning of the event,
Oh.
and I am in Bristol to partake in a few beverages. So I have to make sure that I'm okay to drive. But my
Well,
intentions are to
yes.
be there at some stage of the day, yes.
Nice and
Uh,
responsible of you. Well done.
can
Yes.
I also add, obviously, we're a Villa podcast. I don't know
Mm.
if you're aware, but our very own Mary Taylor is also going to be at the event doing a meet and greet. So
She
the,
is.
she
Yes.
has kind of suggested herself on social media if anybody has any scarves or autograph books, tops, whatever that you maybe wanted to sign, bring them down, and you could potentially have an opportunity to meet Mary Taylor on the day and get your get your stuff signed, or better yet, just come by the fan club table, buy something from us, and get Mary to sign it.
Exactly. Brand new merch on the day, signed on the day, and then come and say hello on the podcast as well. So yeah, it's gonna be a really good day. And yeah, we're just sorting out the final things now to make it happen. But yeah, Emma, you coming along that Sunday? Are you free?
When is it?
I've just told you.
My thingy
She
went
had
off.
probably just lost Wi-Fi.
They might have Wi-Fi there, Emma. You might be all right.
Might be better than mine.
30th of November. 30th of
Oh,
November. It's a
Freya.
Sunday. It's a Sunday. What?
It's Panto week. Well, it's the week before Panto, but I've got a full dress rehearsal.
All day.
We normally start at 6:30, but because it's a full dress rehearsal, we start earlier, and it's the
I
whole
might want to
afternoon.
take a deer Panther.
You want a ticket to my Panto?
Yeah.
I know you don't.
Oh yes, I
Oh,
do.
yes, he does. And
I
would
think
you
I
believe
want to come
everyone,
along.
we didn't practice that? We didn't practice. Just happened so naturally. So yes, so I've just got the details up for the football fair if people do want to join us. So it's 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. It says over 20 vendors, over 600 shirts for sale. That's the bit I'm very excited about. Hockley Social Club, food stalls, tea and coffee, fully stocked bar from midday. Entertainment activities, women's football highlights and features, and it's just a day of celebration of the women's game. And tickets are £5. So if you do fancy it, then get
And
yourself
if
along and come and
people
say hello
aren't
to us this week.
aware, I was going to say, if people aren't aware, a lot of these shirts have also been signed by the players and do come with certificates.
Ooh, that's quite exciting. That's quite exciting.
Because I do follow their page and they they get quite a lot. But
Oh,
in fact, they were actually selling a Serena shirt a couple of days ago.
That's
But I believe
insane.
that she
right.
already found a new home.
Oh, I mean that's the thing. Like fairs and events like this just make you realise, if people are maybe new to the game, just how rich the history is and the culture of women's football, and how it's not just the last couple of years. It's been, well, forever. But especially the last 15, 20 at least. Where it's really kind of coming to fruition, and we've got the shirts to prove it, and just have that little piece of history. So yes, so end of the month, we hope to see as many of you there as possible, coming by the stall. And I just do have one more little plea for everyone. On YouTube, we are on 94 subscribers, and I would really, really like to get that to 100. Just a couple more people doing it. So if you enjoy what we do and you haven't liked, subscribed, followed, etc. yet, if I could please ask you to do so, just to get that lovely round 100 number, and then we can go for the next 100 after that. So yes, please. So check if you have subscribed or not, and make sure you do click that button. So I think then that is just about everything. Gary,
Not,
Emma, anything else you would like to
but
discuss?
it's not everything. We
I
haven't
have a
spoken about the
question.
fixture changes.
Oh, God, yeah. Hey,
Oh
this
yeah.
is why I have both of you here. Yes, good. So we've got one more thing, guys. One more thing. Don't go anywhere. So yes, fixture changes. So of course, the devastating news with Matt Beard happened, and we had to reschedule the Liverpool game. Fine, absolutely fine. However, they've scheduled it for Thursday night, and
Yay.
I think that's in the middle of two Sunday fixtures, and they're both away, aren't they?
Yeah,
So
they,
Yeah.
let's.
they are. They're
Oops,
both
phone
away
flip.
days.
Isn't one Spurs and then the other one's City? Because I know
I
that the
can't show
last
you.
one's City, because I want to go to it. I want to do a weekend in
So
Manchester.
I think one of the away days is Man City.
It's the
yes,
last one
so
because it's
it's
before
so.
Christmas. I want to do the markets.
All right, calm down. So yeah, it's Spurs away to Spurs on the 7th. Then we've got Liverpool at home on the 11th. And then we are back away to City on the Sunday, the 14th. And it's just, how do you expect a squad to stay healthy when you're not leaving that much time. If the second game, that City game, if that was at home, I think that would have been better. But all that travelling just can't be good for anyone, can it? Has anyone got any thoughts on that?
You're talking to someone that's traveled the country for the last 23 years for his job. So, yeah, but that sort of travel I've probably done in a day. But, I'm not being asked
Yeah.
to play 3 football games in the process.
And that's the thing. I love a bit of travelling myself. But it's the extremes of being asked to play because some of them will be playing all three, won't they?
Eh,
Really,
Well, we don't have the squad depth. And I think
and that's the
ultimately,
thing.
whenever you consider, like, 3 games in a week is a big ask.
Yeah,
Particularly whenever you look at yeah, what's the pitch quality is going to be like, and we're into the winter, or we're running the higher risk of injuries,
yeah,
and it's well documented how much easier it is for women to come across an ACL injury than it is in the men's game, and
yeah.
it is an increased risk. You know,
Mm.
it's not the travel I'd be worried about; it's the 3 games in a week.
Yes, the
Because
impact. Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, yeah. And
it's that,
the load. Yeah,
Thankfully, London's only sort of 2 hours south, and Manchester's only 2 hours north, so it's not big travel. But the three
mm,
games for a
yeah.
squad that doesn't have real depth is going to
It's
be
a
a
bit
big
concerning.
ask. Um,
Mm,
it's 3 top teams. Tottenham are having a really good season themselves.
yeah.
Liverpool, despite not having any points on the league table yet, we can't take away their talent. Liverpool are still a talented team, so
And
they're
they've been
always going to
close
be
a
a
few times,
danger.
haven't they?
And well,
Yeah,
Man City's Man City. That's another proper squad with real depth and
yeah.
are usually up there challenging in the top spots. They're not playing as well as they generally do, but they're still in the top four.
Yeah. It's yeah. There's certainly no easy games out of those three, so we need to be firing on all cylinders, and you just hope that through that, obviously they're professionals, they've got the right people behind them, but to have that recovery and just make sure that they are okay to play, and rotate where we can. It'll be tough, but yeah, I mean, 3 matches in a week's like Champions League level. Like, come on, Chelsea
Mm.
would be fine. They've got the squad. But yeah, Emma, how are you feeling about that when it was announced that's going to be on a Thursday night?
Um, well, I was initially expecting it to be a Wednesday, to be fair.
Mm.
So I was just a bit shocked that they've chosen a Thursday. Because one, it's a bit of a random day. Like, you're nearly at Friday, everyone's very, very tired. They don't really want to be trying to slug themselves. Slug? Oh, no, that was
Splug?
not.
Okay.
That was not the word I was after. They don't really want to be going from work to a match and then it being Friday. Like everyone's tired by Thursday. It's one of those days where you're just waiting for Friday. You're ready for like 5 o'clock to come on a Friday.
Spoken like a true teacher. I'm
Yes.
tired by Thursday. I can't do anything on Thursday. Yeah.
To be fair, I'm tired by
Yeah.
9 o'clock Monday morning, but here we are.
But hey, it's Thursday night and we're here.
Yeah. And also making it a Thursday means that it's. I mean, I could be wrong here, but you've then not got an equal amount of days between the fixtures.
Yeah.
So like Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday sounds better than Sunday, Thursday, Sunday, because I feel like we're then at a disadvantage for Man City because we've got less time to prepare. Whereas if it was Wednesday, we'd have the Thursday to kind of recover and then Friday to figure ourselves out. So yeah, just a bit of a random day really, and I missed a lot of that conversation because my internet decided to have a mini meltdown. But I'm with you with the whole
Never.
injury. thing and the fact that we already have a very reduced bench. Who knows what our bench will look like in December? Because as I said, it gets smaller as the season goes on. So we'll probably have secondary school children on the bench.
We already
By
do.
that point,
Just a full
okay.
academy squad. Yeah.
Year
fine.
sevens specifically.
Year sevens. It's and of course that City game is going to be our last one before Christmas, of course. So I mean, the players are definitely going to have earned their rest, haven't they, by that game? But yeah, because I think I saw someone saying, well, surely we could have had it on the Wednesday because the men are playing away, or something. And so there was an opportunity there to get it, but obviously we are not the higher powers. We don't know what was behind it. But yeah, Thursday. It's a bit like, we've already discussed it, but the Blues game being put at Bescott on a Friday night. I was just like, oh, you need to get Bescott on a Friday night. 7:00. It's hard. Like that's a battle in itself before you get there.
The best got on the Friday night. I know that I'm not going to get there, and it's probably going to be hit or miss whether I can get to the match against Liverpool now. Yeah,
Oh.
like Emma's talking,
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for me.
I'm up at 5:00 every morning for my work, so the same idea as everybody else. By the time you hit sort of Thursday, you're definitely tired.
Yes,
Well,
long days, yeah.
That week for me, we've got Christmas concert on the Tuesday, so it's like I've already got one late night that week. I don't really want to be out on the Thursday as well, but I will attempt to get there, but I have to come from the other side of Birmingham, so we'll give it a go and hope.
There just needs to be another way to get to the other side of Birmingham, doesn't there? Like, Birmingham needs an underground. Like, it needs something, because trying to get on the M6, no.
Just trying to get anywhere.
No.
To be fair.
Yeah, trying to get anywhere.
It takes. Yesterday it took me the other day it took me 2 hours to get home because I forgot Blues were playing, and then ended up in Bordesley Green, and I was like, that now explains why, because all the roads were closed.
Oh, okay, yeah, of course, school closed all the roads. Yeah, I used to work 11 mile away from my house in Birmingham, and it would take me about 2 hours to get home.
Yeah.
Because it was just gridlocked, and yeah. So yeah, we know the pain, but if we can get there, then we will, because that is what being a good football fan is all about, of course.
Why couldn't we have had it like?
Yes.
Why couldn't we have had it on like a cup weekend? Because we're probably not going to make it out of the Conti Cup. Oh no, it's not the Conti Cup. The Sandwich Cup.
Sandwich Cup.
We're probably not going to make it.
Little faith. We might.
Or if we do, I can't see us making it to the final because we are not a Big Four team that only has to play 2 games. So
well, yes.
Like, why couldn't it have been on one of the weekends where there's a bigger like Sandwich Cup match happening? That could have been easier because we wouldn't have been playing that weekend anyway because of the sandwich.
Imagine if that was in the report. Sorry, Villa can't play this weekend due to a sandwich appearing on the pitch. Well, you never know. Liverpool could still do something in the cup. But I get your idea. Why not do it on a weekend that even before? No, you can't really do it before the season starts. But yeah, could there have been another option? Essentially, yes, I do agree, because it does feel like we're not having much of a chance for that Sunday game against City. Now then, have I forgotten anything else, Gary?
I don't believe so. I do think that we've covered everything.
Good, I'm glad. Thank you very much for keeping me on track. Now, has Emma disappeared for you as well?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Just the two of us. She isn't a ghost on my screen anymore. I did have on my phone, I had the stream up, so then I could see Emma, because I couldn't see her on my screen. But yeah, no, she is definitely gone. So we'll wrap it up there, shall we? So we've discussed all of our key points from the week, and again, looking forward, hopefully, to something against United this weekend. There are 2 games on Saturday, one of which is Villa. I was very confident saying that. It is, isn't it? Yes. So Saturday, we are playing at midday. So it's Arsenal, Chelsea, United, Villa, both at 12 o'clock on Saturday, and then the other 4 games are on Sunday. So yeah, so it'll be strange. Well, actually, it'd be nice so that we can watch Villa on the Saturday and watch a different game on the Sunday. That'd be quite nice, wouldn't it?
But a nice novelty. It's not often you get watched 2 games in a weekend now.
Exactly. So we're gonna make the most of it and take that opportunity. But yeah, Gary, thank you so much for joining me this evening. It's been lovely as always. And thank you to Emma as well, who's currently not here. So hopefully we will see everyone again next week. I was gonna say next weekend. We definitely go to sleep Thursday night. We'll see everyone again next Thursday. There we go. Where hopefully we've got a very exciting Man United game to talk about. So I'm just gonna swap that out a little bit, and we're gonna play our. Actually, no, I'm still talking. We're gonna play. All our handles are gonna pop up in a minute. So please do remember, if you can, to give us a subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already, so we can smash that 100 subscribers. So thank you very much. Please do go check us out across social media, and of course the Villa Fan Club on Facebook, and the whole 115 yards across all socials as well. So thank you very much. We'll see you next Thursday. Good evening and good night.
Good night.